Okay, Swifties, you need to sit down for this because Taylor Swift just had what might be the biggest slip-up of her entire career, and I'm talking about accidentally revealing her wedding date with Travis Kelce to fans during a live interview, and the internet is absolutely losing its mind right now. So here's exactly what happened. Taylor was doing a surprise call-in interview with a Kansas City radio station yesterday to promote some upcoming charity work. And everything was going normally until the host asked her about her summer plans. And this is where things got interesting, because Taylor started talking about how busy July is going to be for her, mentioning studio time, some meetings, and then she said, and I quote, "I have something really special happening on July 13th that I've been planning for months, and it's going to be the most important day of my life." And guys, the way she said it, with this dreamy voice and obvious excitement, immediately had everyone's attention. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. The radio host, probably thinking he was being clever, jokingly asked if she was talking about another album release. And Taylor just started laughing in this nervous way we've never heard before. And then she said, "Oh no, this is much more personal than that. This is about starting my forever with someone very special." And then there was this pause where you could literally hear her realize what she just said to thousands of listeners. And she quickly tried to backtrack by saying, "We'll see what happens." But it was too late because the damage was already done, and fans immediately knew she was talking about marrying Travis. The radio host immediately pressed her on it, asking if she was talking about wedding plans with Travis Kelce. And Taylor's response was so telling because instead of her usual diplomatic deflection, she got flustered and said, "I really can't say more about that right now, but July 13th is definitely going to be a day I'll never forget." And then she quickly changed the subject to her charity work. But everyone listening knew exactly what had just happened and that she'd accidentally spilled the tea about her wedding date. Within minutes of the interview ending, social media exploded with fans dissecting every word, and the hashtag July13wedding started trending worldwide, with Swifties going absolutely crazy trying to figure out if this was really happening. And let me tell you, the evidence is actually pretty compelling when you start putting the pieces together, because this slip-up makes so much sense when you look at all the signs. First of all, July 13th is a Saturday, which is perfect for a wedding. And it's also exactly 13 months after Taylor and Travis started dating. And we all know how obsessed Taylor is with the number 13, so the timing is absolutely perfect and definitely not a coincidence. Plus, it shows she's been planning this for months, which explains all the recent suspicious activity. But wait, it gets even better, because fans have been doing some serious detective work, and they discovered that the Kelce family has been secretly booking venues and vendors in both Kansas City and Nashville for that exact weekend, and multiple sources have confirmed that both families have been asking about availability for a private family celebration on July 13th, which is obviously code for wedding planning that's been in the works. The most convincing evidence, though, comes from Taylor's own inner circle, because her best friends have been mysteriously quiet on social media lately. And Selena Gomez, Blake Lively, and the Haim sisters have all blocked out their calendars for that entire weekend, which never happens unless something major is going down. And we all know these girls would never miss Taylor's wedding for anything in the world, and they've probably been helping her plan this whole thing. Even more suspicious is the fact that Taylor's mom, Andrea, has been spotted multiple times at bridal boutiques in Nashville, and she was reportedly seen with a team of wedding planners last week, and when paparazzi tried to ask her about it, she just smiled and said no comment, which is basically confirmation that something big is happening and that Taylor's accidental revelation was actually true. If you're as obsessed with this story as I am and want to stay updated on every single development, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because things are moving fast and you don't want to miss any of the details we're uncovering about this potential wedding of the century that Taylor just accidentally confirmed to the world. The timing also makes perfect sense when you think about it logically, because Travis's football season doesn't start until August. So July would be the perfect time for them to have a wedding and honeymoon before he has to focus on training, camp, and the new season, and Taylor's Eras tour is officially over. So she has the freedom to plan a wedding without worrying about conflicting schedules or disappointing fans. Which means her slip-up reveals months of careful planning. What's even more interesting is that several A-list celebrities have been quietly clearing their schedules for that weekend, including Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Ed Sheeran, and even Beyoncé. And these are exactly the kinds of people who would be on Taylor's wedding guest list, so the fact that they're all mysteriously unavailable for that weekend is definitely not a coincidence and confirms that Taylor's accidental revelation exposed real wedding plans. The location is still up for debate, but based on the vendor bookings and family movements, it's looking like the wedding could be split between Kansas City and Nashville, possibly with a ceremony in one city and reception in the other, which would be perfect for combining both of their worlds and making sure all their family and friends can attend this celebration that Taylor accidentally revealed to everyone. Travis hasn't directly addressed Taylor's accidental slip-up yet, but his social media activity has been very telling, because he's been liking posts about wedding planning and even shared a cryptic story yesterday with just a calendar emoji and a heart, which fans are interpreting as his subtle confirmation that Taylor's accidental revelation was accurate, and that July 13th is indeed their big day. The Chiefs organization has also been suspiciously quiet about Travis's summer schedule, and usually they're very transparent about player activities during the offseason. But lately, they've been giving vague answers about his availability around that date, which suggests they're protecting something important, probably his wedding plans that Taylor accidentally exposed to the world during that radio interview. What makes this even more believable is that Taylor and Travis have been house hunting together in both Kansas City and Nashville. And they recently purchased a massive property in Nashville that would be absolutely perfect for hosting a wedding, with enough space for hundreds of guests and complete privacy from paparazzi and fans who are now obsessing over every detail. Since Taylor's accidental revelation, the property has been undergoing major renovations lately, and neighbors have reported seeing wedding vendors and event planners coming and going, along with security teams doing walkthroughs, which is exactly what you'd expect if they were planning to host their wedding there on the date that Taylor accidentally revealed to thousands of radio listeners yesterday. Industry insiders are also starting to talk with several people in the entertainment business, hinting that they've been approached about keeping July 13th free for a major event. And wedding planners in both Nashville and Kansas City have been booked solid for that weekend, with many citing confidential client requests that require NDAs, which all makes sense now that we know Taylor accidentally spilled the beans about her wedding date. The most convincing evidence might be Taylor's recent behavior, though, because she's been glowing in a way that's different from her usual happiness. And people close to her say she's been walking around with this permanent smile and talking about how excited she is for the summer, which definitely sounds like someone who's about to get married to the love of her life, and explains why she got so excited during that interview that she accidentally revealed everything. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because if this wedding is really happening on July 13th, like Taylor accidentally revealed, we're going to have exclusive coverage and all the details you won't find anywhere else.